Hi everyone, welcome back to the Keto Crafter. My name is Lori. If you're new here, I have been following a ketogenic, ketovore, carnivore lifestyle since November of 2019. I've lost a total of 121 pounds. Still have some weight to lose, but this is my journey. I also have Hydrogenitis suppurativa, so I share my experience with that on my channel. Sometimes I do reviews, sometimes I share recipes, and sometimes I just ramble, like today. Sorry for the appearance. I am struggling quite a bit. My hydrogenitis is flaring like mad. It has gotten really bad. It's everywhere, and I'm having some severe problems. I had some cultures taken, and I do have 3 different types of bacterial infections. So I'm on 2 different antibiotics, fairly strong antibiotics, and I just don't feel good. I wanted to get this video out just so that if there's not videos posted for a couple of weeks, y'all just have to bear with me, because frankly I'm doing good to get this video done. I've been very tired, which I've been having problems with fatigue anyway. At least I did get a short break from antibiotics. I'm not on IV antibiotics yet. I have a feeling that they're coming. I have a feeling I'm going to be sent tomorrow to get a midline in. It's just a feeling. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. Right now I'm on Cipro and clindamycin, which clindamycin really doesn't help me at all, because I've been taking it so long, so many years, where they would prescribe clindamycin for me to take for the hydrogenitis. And if you're not familiar with the disease, most of the time in normal circumstances, and mind you that there's nothing normal about hydrogenitis, but in normal circumstances, the cultures will come back clear. They won't have any type of bacteria in them. It's not like staph. I mean, yes, right now I do have staph, and I also have streptococcus and something else, chlorine bacterium. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Anyway, and then I've also had problems with MRSA and Pseudomonas. So it's like my body is just filled with infection right now, inflammation. I'm going to say this, I still feel like that the severity of my HS and the severity of these infections has been exacerbated by the Moderna vaccine. I had my second vaccine in June, and it seems like ever since then, everything has just been wild. My inflammation has just gone crazy. I'm not anti-vaccine. I believe in the vaccine, and I think it does save some lives. However, I also feel that it has not been properly tested as far as side effects to those of us that have autoinflammatory and autoimmune diseases. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all. And I'm not gonna get into politics on my channel. I am very much for, you have to make your own choice. I don't think it should be forced on anybody. I think that you should have the right to make the decision yourself. If you don't agree with me, fine. You don't have to watch my videos. But I think that I have a right to my opinion, especially when it is my body and I'm the one that is suffering. And I'm telling you, right now, I'm suffering. I feel like crap. I'm going to go so far to the point as there are some things that are actually worse than death. And I'm experiencing them right now. And I think it's only going to get worse. I have a feeling that it's going to get worse before it gets better, if it even gets better. I don't know what's going on. My body is in terrible shape right now. And I believe that keto heals a lot of things because I've been in remission. I've been in remission, so I know what that feels like. My fibromyalgia is still in remission. However, I'm starting to experience some shoulder blade pain. I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying that I know that keto and carnivore is the proper human diet, and I do believe in it. And I know that if I can just get all of this under control, I do believe that I could get myself back into remission if I could just catch a break. And right now, I just don't see that happening because my doctor wants to do more surgery as soon as the arm heals up. And the healing process has started to slow down, which is presenting a problem because if the infection spreads to that location, then it's just very frustrating. I also have chronic anemia. My body doesn't absorb oral iron supplements like it should. And I do eat liver on a fairly regular basis, probably not as much as I should. And I have been taking like beef organ supplements and stuff like that. However, my body is just not absorbing it. It's not doing anything for me. So my iron level is low. I have iron deficiency anemia. Now let me tell you about the experience I had Friday. Friday morning, I had an appointment with a hematologist. I've never seen this hematologist before, and I didn't even get to see the hematologist that my surgeon wanted me to see. No, I got to see a nurse practitioner. Now, I'm not saying that nurse practitioners aren't smart, but this one talked to me like I was an idiot. She comes in, I do lab work. Now, here's another thing. I'm anemic, very seriously anemic, very bad. I need an iron infusion. However, the lab technician that took my blood, she was putting my blood up on a little section where she shouldn't have even been putting the tubes because they were likely to fall. All right, one of them had already fell on the floor. She picked it up, put it back up there. Then, and she's taken like 7-8 tubes of blood. So then one of the tubes falls in the trash that is right up underneath it. She says, oh, well, I'll have to just take an extra tube of blood. My body's doing all it can to make the blood that I've got in it, and you're just taking an extra tube. So that right there just ticked me off right there. I was already frustrated. I'm like, why did you put it there anyway? That's not a good place to put it. You know, I understand that accident has happened, but come on, give me a break, please. So anyway, I do that. Then they stick me in an exam room where I wait, and I wait, and I wait. Now, my appointment was supposed to be from 10:30 to 11:30. Now, I understand a little bit of leeway, a little bit of, and the nurse practitioner comes in, she tells me, I have iron deficiency anemia. I have had iron deficiency anemia literally almost all my life. I had iron deficiency anemia way before I had hydrogenitis. This is not new to me. I've always been iron deficient anemia. I know these things. This is not anything new. So then she says, well, have you ever had a colonoscopy? No, they've never suggested a colonoscopy. I don't have any of the symptoms that would require a colonoscopy. Yes, malabsorption issues, but not necessarily. That's because I have been prescribed antibiotics on top of antibiotics on top of antibiotics when I didn't have an active infection, because there's not enough research being done on hydrogenitis, and hydrogenitis is very much sensitive to the food that we put in our bodies. I'm proof of that. There's a lot of other people that are proof of that. It's a diet issue. It's an insulin resistant issue. It's not just a skin disease. And it ticks me off that these organizations that are supposed to be standing up for us, they're not doing anything. They're just treating it like a skin disease. It's not just a skin disease. It affects other systems of the body. When you correct insulin resistance, when you feed your body the proper human diet, it's funny how all of your problems seem to either improve drastically or go away completely. I know several people that have reversed their type 2 diabetes. I know people that have actually improved their type 1 diabetes. These are people that are insulin dependent. They don't have to take as much insulin anymore because they're not feeding their bodies garbage, or carbage is what I like to call it, because it's carbs. I mean, we do not need carbohydrates to survive. Every doctor that I trust knows this. Sorry, I get frustrated, particularly when I don't feel good. So you just have to ignore me or just pass it off. So then she says, have you had a mammogram? Okay, number one, I'm 44 years old, okay? Breast cancer does not run in my family. I have had genetic testing to see if I had the gene, and I don't, just to be safe. I almost said it, and I wish I kind of had. What the heck do my boobs have to do with my iron deficient anemia? Hello? Some doctors and some people in the medical community just make me want to do a Gibbs slap to the back of the head. I mean, seriously. I know that that's important too. And then she tells me, well, we generally don't recommend mammograms until you turn about 50. Okay, guess what? I'm only 44. Okay, let's not rush things. If I had noticed that I had like a lump or anything, of course I would have a mammogram. But that's not why I was there on Friday. I was there to see if there was something else that could be done to help my iron deficient anemia. Because I may not be a doctor, but I do read a lot. And I read mostly medical books because I'm a nerd. I wear that badge proudly. I like medical terminology. I like to know what's going on with my body. If I read something that might help, then I'm going to try it. And if I can do it without prescription medication, wonderful, great, fantastic. Because food should be your medicine. That should be your first weapon of defense, is the foods that you consume. Nutrition. Actual nutrition, not that lousy food pyramid that is sponsored by these soy farmers and corn and grains that cause inflammation. No, I don't want any of that stuff. I don't want that stuff in my body. Have I had the stuff? Of course I have. Yes, I love breads. I am a former bread addict. I used to love homemade bread. I used to bake it on a regular basis. It was nothing for me to fix, like these huge batches of Amish friendship bread or sourdough bread. I've always loved bread, pasta, rice. Not so much rice. I've never been a huge rice person, but once I got off all of that stuff, I started feeling better. And the few times that I've had it where I have either just felt so down that I have fallen into bad habits, it has just done a number on me. And it's like, you know, I call it self-destructive behavior. Because of different things that I'm coming into contact with. And anyway, she left the room. The nurse practitioner left the room, and she said, well, let me go get this other doctor. He's actually a hematologist. He's going to want to see you before you leave, and then we'll get you scheduled for Injectafer infusion. Now, if you do a little bit of research on Injectafer, you will find out that there is a class action lawsuit going on right now, because I've actually checked into it, where people are having side effects, long-term side effects from taking the Injectafer iron infusions. And I have taken them before. Other than the chronic fatigue, I don't think I would qualify for the class action lawsuit, because I have had periods where, especially when I've been in remission, where I have a lot of energy and I feel great. So I don't think that I would qualify for that lawsuit, because I'm not experiencing any type of those side effects. But if they're already having problems with it, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to put that into my body. And I think that that should be my choice. So when I asked her about that, she said, well, you've used it before, so it'll work again. That's not answering my question. That's not talking with me about it and just sort of putting my mind at ease. No, it's like, okay, I'm the doc, I have more education than you. I have a little certificate, that says that I know things more than you. So therefore, you're just going to have to listen to me. You know what? I'm not that kind of patient. If that labels me as a difficult patient, then so be it. But it's my life. I should be able to make these choices myself. And I choose not to put that crap in my body just in case I do suffer long-term effects. I've had like 6 Injectafer infusions in my life. For the most part, my primary, she just has me taking iron supplements. Do they help? Probably not the greatest, but something's better than nothing, right? I don't know. So I wait for this doctor, and I sit there and I'm waiting, and I have to get my daughter to work. And it was almost time to leave to take her to work, because we have to go like 45 minutes away to Dothan, and I have to be back in Enterprise, which is like 20-30 minutes away. I have to have my daughter back in Enterprise to go to work. So I knew that I had to leave by a certain time, and it's like 5 minutes after the time that I need to leave. So I walk out in the hallway, I find a nurse, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't wait any longer. I've got to get my daughter to work. I'm sorry, I can't stay. And that's exactly how I said it. Well, we're sorry, he's running a little bit late. I said, that's okay. I said, I'm just sorry, I can't stay. So then the nurse practitioner that I saw comes out in the hallway and says, well, had I known? And I'm like, seriously? Had you known? Look, here is something, okay, if you're a doctor or if you know a doctor, share this video with them, and particularly what I'm about to say. If you are a doctor or a nurse practitioner, or if you see patients, okay, here's what you can do to give yourself a happier patient. Don't overcrowd your schedule, okay? Allow yourself enough time to be a good doctor, to be a caring doctor. Otherwise, get out of the field and go to work for Walmart or McDonald's. They're always hiring smiling faces, okay? If you don't have a smiling face, they can draw one on you. That's just how I feel. I am so fed up with doctors that are all about packing their schedule full of patients that they can spend maybe 5 minutes with them, where they expect the patient to just listen and not have an opinion about their own health, and then leave them, not answering any questions or making the patient feel like they are a medical ID number. I'm not a number. I'm a human being. I have emotions. I deserve to be heard just as much as you. I don't care how many degrees you have. I do not care that you may drive a fancier car than I do or have a nicer home than I do. I don't care that you have nicer clothes than I do. I deserve the same treatment. That's what equal rights is all about, right? That's what everybody's talking about, equal rights. That's the thing now, equal rights. Equal rights is not better, okay? Equal means the same. Not where one group gets treated better, where you get treated exactly the same. That's what I'm about. And guess what? It goes on in the medical community just as much in society, okay? I'm disabled. I'm on Social Security disability, which is a laugh. You know what? I'm going to throw this out there. Could you survive on $637 a month? Can you survive on $637 a month? And try to eat healthy? Guess what? You have to make sacrifices. So no, I can't have the grass-fed, grass-finished Panda massage beef like, Dr. Berry, that's what he says. He says, look, you can do keto successfully with hot dogs and mustard. Well, thank God you can, because sometimes I have hot dogs and mustard. Okay? I make sacrifices in certain areas of my life so that I can have nutritious food like in iShop sales. Let me tell you, iShop sales. Also, it's not just me. Thank God I have a husband that has, and he's also on Social Security. Of course, he makes more than I do because he worked more than I did. We live with my parents live with us. We used to live with my parents and now we've swapped. But the fact is that we all work together, and that's, some people aren't that fortunate, okay? Some people aren't as fortunate to have family, a tight-knit family, to where you can work together to be able to survive. Some people are on their own, and God bless them, because it is so frustrating to worry about eating nutritious food. That's the reason why so many people do follow the standard American crappy diet, because they can't afford better stuff, because for some odd reason this government wants you to be sick. It's called population control. That's my theory. Am I a conspiracy theorist? You betcha. Kind of a little hobby of mine. JFK. I won't get into that. It's just that I don't think of myself so much as a conspiracy theorist. I just like looking at things from multiple different angles. I feel like that's how we learn. Some angles I don't agree with, but I think it's important to look at everything from several different angles, get different perception of situations. And I believe that we should all educate ourselves as much as possible about everything. Otherwise, what are we doing here? So anyway, yeah, I ended up walking out of the hematologist office. It was just that bad. So we left, took my daughter to work, and here's the situation on the antibiotics. I guess this is more of a rant video. It's just that I feel like I need to get it all out. So, I understand if you don't want to watch the video, but I think it's important to share my experience, because I think that if you are dealing with any type of a health issue, especially a chronic health issue like hydrogenitis, or if you're dealing with diabetes, fibromyalgia, arthritis, MS, cerebral palsy, even there's been proof that the proper human diet helps those that are on the spectrum. Any type of depression, I think it's important that we share our experience. Number one, get it out there, okay? It's healing to the body. Number two, if it helps prevent somebody from experiencing the same problems that I'm experiencing or what somebody else is experiencing, then that's good. the more that we talk about our experiences, the more better of a chance we have in life. I feel that that's the truth. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, we all know that. But the fact is that, I just feel like it helps getting this stuff out. So, we left. And here's the antibiotic situation, okay? Dr. Duke, which is my surgeon, he wanted to put me on Zyvox, which is linezolid. Basically, it's like the pill form. It's an oral form of vancomycin. Now, I'm allergic to vancomycin in an IV. It causes hives. Which, here's the thing. This is something I didn't know. It may not actually be a allergic reaction, because sometimes you can have a reaction to vancomycin, but yet the next time you get it, you may not have a reaction to it. So that's what I've been told. Now, I don't know if it's true. Again, I'm not a doctor. I just know that that's what I have been told by several other medical professionals, is that sometimes you can have a reaction to it, and the next time you get it, you don't have any reaction to it. I've taken it before and not had a reaction. The last time I had it, I had a reaction, and so I haven't had it since. Don't know. So anyway, Dr. Duke wanted me on Zyvox, which is like 600 milligrams. Okay, Zyvox is an incredibly expensive antibiotic. I've been on it before. Back when my husband was working, we had, we still had the same type of insurance, but now we have like the Medicare Advantage plan, which isn't really great. It's called Blue Advantage by Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it's lousy. That's the reason why we're changing as soon as open enrollment. I mean, we can go ahead and change now, but I just like to just wait, especially right now, because I don't want to change right in the middle. I would rather have it start like the 1st of January. Anywho, the copay several years ago, when I was on Zyvox before, and this was when I had my hydrogenitis surgery for the breast region. It was, I think my copay at the time, I think was around $600, and that was for like a 2-week supply. Okay, needless to say, I surely can't afford that copay now. Now, GoodRx has like a discount coupon that I could have gotten at Field for like a little over $100, okay? But again, $100 is a lot of money when you don't make very much anyway. And I still have copays from my surgery, and my husband, he had skin cancer surgery on this past Thursday morning. It's not a dangerous kind, or at least we don't think it is, but he had to have that removed. So there's a $250 copay that we have to pay. But so, I mean, already I've got like $1,500 in copays, and I'm, hey, you know what? If they take $1 a month, then they take $1 a month. I mean, I pay more than that, but the thing is, I have to work out payment plans with them, because that's what you have to do, because we don't have universal health care. And I have differing opinions on universal health care. I think that it does have its place. I also think that places like Canada, that do have universal health care, I do feel like improvements could be made to make it better. Because I don't know, I've never been to Canada. I just know that I've had friends in Canada that have told me some of the bad things about it. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword. A lot of things, regarding healthcare are. So, so I couldn't get to the Zyvox, and that's the reason why I'm taking Cipro and clindamycin, and I'm taking a probiotic. I'm actually doubling up on the probiotic, because I don't want. See, here's the problem: when you take a lot of clindamycin over the years, you are at a higher risk for developing C. diff, which is another bacterial infection that affects the gut, and it causes a lot of problems. I've had friends that have had it. I don't want that, so I try to take a probiotic, and like I said, I'm doubling up on it. And one thing I do know is that a lot of people, they'll think, oh, well, I can just take acidophilus or just eat yogurt. No, because certain antibiotics will counteract certain probiotics and not do a bit of good. And I learned that the hard way. No, when your own antibiotics, particularly like Cipro, the best probiotic that you can take, brand name in like Walmart, Walgreens and all, it's called Florastore. It's expensive. I actually order mine online. It's not the Florastore brand, but it's the same thing. It's I may be butchering this up a bit. It's Saccharomyces boulardii. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but again, not a doctor. So, but it stays in your system, whereas like just taking regular, like I don't know, like the Culturelle like probiotic, Cipro would just totally destroy that. It would counteract it, and you're not getting anything good from your probiotic. So that's the reason why most of your doctors, and I've actually had several doctors to recommend Florastore. So I mean, and well, Dr. Duke just happened to be one of them. You know, it's a strong probiotic that is meant to help a lot of people, like especially if you have candida yeast issues. That's the one to take, is the Saccharomyces boulardii. It helps a lot. And unfortunately, whenever I take antibiotics long term, I always get, you know, yeast infection popping up, and it's not like it's like on the skin, not in other areas. I have an appointment Monday with Dr. Duke again, and so we'll go from there and see what's going to go on. It's just a never-ending roller coaster, up, down, up, down. But I'm trying to stick very much to meat-heavy keto. Right now, I think there's a challenge that's fixing to start. It's the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge. I might do that. I don't know that I'll be able to do it as long as everybody else, but and I gotta have my coffee. We're not doing away with the coffee, but I do have some ideas for videos coming up. It's just that right now it's just I don't feel good. I'm trying to rest as much as possible, trying to take care of myself. So they'll eventually, you know, be done, but just bear with me. That's all I can say. I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope that everyone is in better health than I am. And I just thank you for all your support. Thanks for the prayers. I know that a lot of people have sent me messages on Facebook. Some people have sent me emails. Thank you. All of that, all of my contact information is down below. I may not answer right away, but when I'm awake, then I do try to answer as quickly as possible. So I will catch you in the next video, whenever that may be. So until next time, stop making excuses and start making progress.